Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD. Last time, I didn't show this off. Yeah, Dark Nuts have really big swords, and guess what? You can take them for yourself and swing them around. Pretty fun stuff. I also didn't know this. When holding a big sword like this, Link still does his idle animation. And it ends up looking, a little bit funny. I don't know, just the sight of this small child holding a massive weapon and running around or just doing like normal idle animation stuff. It's weird. It's weird. I don't think the idle animation was also meant for a sword like this. So it kind of like clips through the ground, does a little funny stuff. I don't know, it's kind of neat. Also, more importantly, last time we got the fairy bow. This time we're going to go on and see how it works differently from other Zelda games. So, before this, there was Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and the fairy bow worked. That looks really weird. First of all, look at his arms. Anyway, more importantly, you kind of had to stop in place while using the fairy's bow, but unlike other items in this game, rather, you can still move around while using it, so that's really dang useful. There's also the gyroscope, obviously, so you can get much better shots. It's just the usual Wii U goodness. People don't talk about that, but that is a feature that I'm so glad the Wii U added, and the Wii kind of did it as well, with the Skyward Sword, stuff like that. It happened before that. Is that still? Wait. Oh my god, look, you can see the orb in the bottom there. Wow, that's actually kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, they did it before in Skyward Sword. I guess that counts. But gyroscope is just a lot more responsive than I feel the way they did it in like Twilight Princess on the Wii and Skyward Sword. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Could be wrong. It's also a little bit more intuitive than pointing your Wiimote around, waggling it to get it in the right direction. Just tilting your gamepad or your controller in general is just so satisfying. Makes things really easy. And that's another door open. Gyroscope actually might also be the reason I get into Splatoon so easily. Like, the gyroscope, I don't know. I don't like shooters a lot in general, actually. I'm not a massive fan of them. But more importantly, I don't particularly love controlling shooters with the gross analog stick control scheme. It's not good. I don't like it that much. People have probably gotten used to it. Good on them. I don't like it that much. Let's see, can we get him? Can we? Okay, I'm not gonna try. I'm really just not gonna try anymore. We have Keese up there. Bow and arrow makes them easy pickings. Not any easier than they were with the boomerang, though. Kind of same thing. The bow and arrow does have versatility over the boomerang, though, in the fact that he's going to attack me and I'm gonna fall off. Oh, no! Thank you. It's very kind of you for not doing that to me. It does have versatility in the sense that it goes farther and it doesn't have, like, a weird arc, meaning that it's just easier to work with in general. You, come down here. Thank you. So, yeah, that's something. I think... Let's see how well this works. Not very. Okay, I have to throw it in that case. Timing puzzles. I've never been too great at them. Ever. There we go. Look at that. That opens up a door. There's a whole nother room we can explore up there, and we will. I just want to get around to this. Okay, so this room is quite interesting. There are these statues here, but more importantly, a design that reflects wind are drawn here. So, play the Wind's Requiem, and a chest will spawn. This is something that will be a bit reoccurring. Some chests will be locked behind certain songs. And also these guys. These guys are pretty interesting. I forget their names. However, the way you deal with them is that they jump around, you wait for them to open their mouths, and then you throw a bomb at them. Really easy. Run away. They blow up at the end, so they can be a little bit difficult to deal with if you don't know that. But as long as you do, they're pretty slow. They can hurt you on contact damage. That's really about it. Their spikes hurt. They bounce around. They can be a little erratic. And other than that, they're pretty inoffensive. As long as you know how they function, which you should after the first time you deal with them, they shouldn't cause you any harm later on unless they're paired with other annoying enemies, which is usually how that works. So, I'm sure I'll be annoyed by them later on and I'll look like an idiot here, but hey, let's not think about that. Let's not talk about that right now. So something I didn't mention while I was up here is the fact that we have a bit of an interesting puzzle. This is a weight puzzle, and we have things that we can use to weigh these weights down. So throw that on there. I think I'm gonna need one more to counteract Link's weight. There we go. And now we can access this area right up here. Nothing super special. Okay, I don't have a key yet, so I assume that means I have to go check this out. I'm very all over the place in these areas, really. So I'm gonna be a little over. Lovely. Great. So happy about that. I actually think I can use this height to my advantage. First of all, I do want to take that bubble out. I could probably do this as well from here. Shoot that eye, because of course if there's an eye, shooting it in Zelda fashion is very much worth your time. So we can deal with a few things there pretty easily. I'm gonna float down here. Okay, little off. Dang, alright. Maybe I should just, take the floating platform like a normal person instead of trying to jump out of the building, instead of just taking the elevator, you know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Alright, so I can hop on this one. That'll take me upwards, which is where I want to go. And, chest. There we go. Please be a small key. It's not gonna be. Oh, it is? Okay. I didn't see the animation, so I thought it was something non-important for a second, but I am very wrong, I guess. How you doing? Please don't attack me. Please stop. Please stop. Alright. There we go. And there was also that eye over there. I can no longer get that due to my positioning. Wait, hold on. No, not true. There we go. Look at that. Easy. I shot those eyes on all of the platforms they didn't intend for me to. Let's go. Pro Gamer. Joy Pendant. Very cool. With that, let's get on out of here. Do you see why the Deku Leaf is so fun to mess around with? I know I've talked about this before, but there are so many things you can do with it that just make it such a good time. Like, undisputably, irrefutably, such a fun time to mess around with. It's a tool that plays to Link's arsenal so well, and I'm glad something like it returned in Breath of the Wild, future Zelda games, essentially. Skyward Sword had the sailcloth. Dude, that doesn't count. That was for negating fall damage. That was them finding a way to make sure that when Link fell on the ground, he didn't snap both of his legs, you know, because nobody would have suspended their disbelief that a fall like that would have allowed Link to survive. That's really all it was good for. There was nothing else there. Anyway, this. So, we have these lasers that are blocking our way. Stepping on this turns them off, stepping off turns them back on again. We also have that guy who's up there. If we try to use the command melody, because we have not yet talked to him, quote-unquote talked to him, there's nothing nearby that we can control. So what we have to do is hop on here and use this to our advantage. Speaking of Deku Leaf, look at that. Fun, neat little use of it. Really cool stuff. Then we can call him down, and then we can get him to do his job and go out and free us. Because this guy has no pain. He's made of stone. No nerves. Doesn't feel bad when he's thrown into lasers, hopefully. I'm gonna believe that. I'm gonna choose to believe that. And if it's not true, cognitive dissonance. Didn't hear it. Never heard it before in my whole life. So there we go. Simple puzzle. That one can be a little bit of a brain teaser for a while. I had a bit of troubles on that first time through, but it's not too bad after you see what they're going for. So we have to throw this guy down, and now we have a whiz rope. This guy. He can be a real nuisance. The best way to deal with him is by using the bow and arrow. As you would imagine, a lot of enemies will be introduced here that are best handled with the bow and arrow, the item you just got in the dungeon. So you do want to keep in mind, use that on pretty much everything. They also make Chew so much easier to deal with. The bow and arrow is just a godsend in every way, shape, and form. There's never been a Zelda game when the bow and arrow wasn't useful. That sucks. Okay, there he goes. Oh, whoopsies. Let's see. Can I jump across? Yes. Okay, cool. I believe that one of these guys weighs as much as one of the god statues, whatever they're called. Yes. Okay, I'm right on that. So we need 2 of them to make it so that it can handle my weight and the god statue's weight. We need 3 to make sure that it can handle all of our weight. And we have plenty. Okay, good. Even after the one I threw off, there's plenty to deal with. One more will do the trick, and now you're coming with me. Come here. I'm surprised that actually weighed down that for a second. I thought, like, Link, you've been putting on weight? What's happening, buddy? And with that, it's time to move on. It's so pretty. Look at this. People who say cartoony games can't look pretty, I don't know what you're on about. Look at this. So nice. Maybe I'm just easily pleased. I don't know. Could be either. Alright. Now, as you can imagine, we have a way to deal with BMOS. Let's get a bit closer. There we go. Pretty easy to deal with, all things considered. There are some later on that'll be a little bit more annoying, just because they're limited in what they can do, which sounds really ass backwards, I know. You know, it's more limited, but it's more difficult. How does that make sense? You'll see what I mean. It can be kind of annoying. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering that, though. As time goes on and as I do more and more playthroughs, I realize that my initial thought process behind certain things is just so flawed in every way, shape, and form. And I feel like that's kind of a fun thing to see me realize. I'm just like, God, this part's gonna suck. It's gonna be so awful. And then I get there and I'm like, wow, that's really easy, or that's not as bad as I remember, or I just remembered something entirely incorrectly. It makes me look like an idiot. I know, but I don't know, it can be fun to see, I guess. Maybe I'm weird. The big key, as you might have guessed, based upon the extravagant chest. Oh, wait, how you guys doing? These guys are pretty simple. I believe that... Okay, no, I'm wrong on that. Shoot them with the bow and arrow. Good. And then their backs are exposed, and you can attack them at that point. I'm pretty sure these guys blow up. They're just a smaller variant of the other enemy we've already seen. So it's nothing too special, but they are taken out a little bit differently, so worth mentioning. Please, hearts. Oh, money. I'll take it. I do have a bigger wallet now, so I don't mind at all. Still going to be singing that big wallet's praises, by the way. So useful. Okay, and here's where I was talking about. The whole quote-unquote ass backwards thing. We have this little area outside the dungeon. First of all, we have these guys to deal with. They can be easily taken down. Okay, he was a bit farther away than I thought. Please. Can you just die? Thank you. God, I'm awful. These guys... Oh, yeah. Okay. I was wrong. Guess what? What's new? Initially, these guys face forward. You can tell that they're not moving around, and that they only shoot in one straight line. It makes getting past this really difficult if you don't use your bow and arrow, which for some reason first playthrough I didn't. I don't know. I'm a dumb child. Make fun of me. Hee. Let's all point and laugh at the idiot. But I also was under the impression that they only started shooting their lasers immediately as soon as you walked into their line of sight. No, it's a little bit earlier. So the thing that I initially thought was actually really weirdly put together and a little bit difficult, it's not that bad. It really isn't. So, hey, I was wrong. You can get out of here, you can get out of here, and guess what? Oh, don't dodge me. No, you don't have that right. You can't do that. I haven't got one of those in a while. Beamos are actually a lot of fun to take out with this new bow and arrow. Like, I can understand why some people might not necessarily think that going back to other Zelda games, because Beamos were really annoying. You could Z target onto them, and a Beamos that works like this, where they only appear and are only damageable when they notice you, that would be super annoying to deal with. However, when you can move around with the bow and arrow, it's actually kind of satisfying, especially with the gyroscope. Anyway, we have a boss coming up, as you can tell by the door. And before we actually go in, I disagree with what I was about to say. No, I'm not going to use Grandma's Soup just yet. We'll use it when I get low, or if I get low on health during this boss battle. I don't think that Grandma's Soup is going to be immediately important to us, because it boosts the sword, the damage of your sword, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't boost the damage of any of your other tools, and I know what boss is coming up. You have done well to find your way to this place. O chosen one. Accept this final challenge. I'm getting very big Super Mario 64 vibes, but hey, what do I know? This boss is relatively simple. You have to shoot the eye of the hand. It is pretty much just like the other fight in Mario 64, if you have ever played that game. It's very simple in that regard. And then after you've gotten his hand, if he will back off for a second, you do want to shoot his eyes. He'll also shoot those lasers at you. It can get a little bit hectic, but it is a simple fight, all things considered. You should know immediately what to do. Okay, he closes his eyes whenever he does that, so whenever he's stationary, you can't attack him, which makes things a little bit more difficult. There we go. One eye out. Let's take out the other one. And now that he's done that, I do want to pause the game for just 1 second, because you have to throw a bomb in his mouth. This is why I said using our Grandma's Soup wouldn't be immediately important. You don't actually attack this guy with your sword. You have to attack him using your bombs and using your bow and arrow. One more shot. I actually thought I got that. I don't know why. Oh, come on. You blocked it, really? As you can tell, I'm kind of running low on my arrow supply. Don't worry too much about that, because if you do run out of arrows, there is a way to get more. We'll see that if it happens. I assume it'll happen soon, so let's just wait for that moment before I go and explain it. Bit off on that one. Let me see if I can pick this up and throw it back in. Okay, how am I this bad? Thank you. There we go. Unnecessarily difficult for me right there. Okay, moving around. He's going to do that, so that does nothing. There's no shockwave attack for that either. It's pretty simple. One more hit. And now that I've run out of arrows, he just gives us more. What a gracious man. So you should never run out of arrows. It should never be a big deal. I'm sure the same happens with bombs. Whoa! Not the button I meant to press. Whoops. Alright. A few more hits should do it for this eye, too. What? Right? Whoa, 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 whoa. They got more hits? Nobody told me about that. I'm actually surprised they hit that other one. So he's getting a little bit more difficult to take out. There go my arrows. So the real difficulty from these hands comes from the fact that you can get damage down here, I'm pretty sure. Might as well try, right? Yeah, electricity, okay. I actually haven't fallen off in this fight ever, so I actually did want to check. So these hands can push you off. It can be a little bit dangerous in that regard. Otherwise, the hand shouldn't be doing like any real damage to you. But hey, the smashing thing can do some damage, but that's super easy to avoid. So, oh, I say that as I almost get hit by that. There we go. Thank you. All right, one arrow. Gonna waste this one so he snots out another one. Don't know why that comes out of his nose. Little gross, dude. Giving me your schnoz arrows? That's kind of gross. Nasty. The head only has one attack, so really things don't get too unique with that. Last attack, last phase rather, he starts moving his hands around with his head, so things get a little bit more difficult. One more hit in the eye, and now this should be it. Rule of 3. The path can now be opened. O chosen one. What will now come to pass is tied to your fate, to the path that you have chosen. Go forward with caution. Oh, thank you for shooting that out your snoz. Great. Here we are, all the way at the top. It's really peaceful. I like it a lot. It's a great area, truly. Anyway, let's break the silence. You have done well, Link. It would seem the gods have acknowledged you to be a true hero. But this does not mean your trials have ended here. Once you take your first step into the world beyond the ring of light you see shimmering in the waves before you, your true trial will begin. Are you ready, Link?